Good evening. Well, I say good evening. What I mean is evening with expletives that I'm trying not to repeat so Ryan doesn't give me a yellow card. Hello, gentlemen. Hello, everyone, for joining us.
All right, Jan.
No.
Hi, Jan.
All right, Stevie.
Hi, Wes.
You'd rather be going through customs right now, getting rubber gloved, wouldn't you?
How long have you been back, Wes?
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We are Follow Everton. We are fuming. We are effing awful. And we are Everton. We are Follow Everton as we follow Everton on the second half. 1-0 down to a team that is at the bottom of the Football League pyramid. We've fielded a couple of, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Does anyone want to pick up from this before I just start a string of expletives? Because it's like we've got 11 players. We've just gone to the local Weatherspoons or the Tommy Frost, rounded up 11 men, put them on a coach, taken them across the fucking Pennine. This is, since the mid-90s, in 30 years, this is our lowest point. I'm sorry. It's just...
Do you know what?
At least we're only 1-0 down. We can still get back in here.
That team that started should have been good enough to outplay this team, and yet they're being outplayed. Now, Dice has picked that team. Dice has employed the tactics, and they're only carrying out his instructions. So why are they playing long ball to an isolated striker up front, bypassing the midfield? With players who are on tens of thousands of pounds a week to play football, and yet he wants to lump it up front to a striker who's isolated. He's got 4 defenders against him. It just doesn't make sense.
I don't want to. What I will say is it's frustrating. I just welcome everyone, some of the regulars, everyone. Yeah, it's just, sorry, I'm trying to get some of these comments up here because I feel like I'm going on a bit of a personal rant. We are here for people who are watching. We are watching on TV, trying not to get any coverage to fall foul of copyright, but we're watching along in case anyone can't. Sometimes you're probably watching yourselves and just sticking this on because listening to us fume, misery likes company, doesn't it? We concede a goal which on replay is offside, but it's to a team that deserved to be in front because we haven't threatened. Defensively, we've been shambolic and pinging it around like pinball in the defence. We've not been clear and in charge of that. We've not had any concrete plans. Midfield has been disjointed, and all we've really seemed to do is run forward. There was a ball crossed in from the left. Sorry, there will be some commentary there. There has been some forward movement, but it's not been football. It's just been like a ball at someone's feet running like schoolyard football. And it's just been frustrating. I could say that there have been times when we've conceded soft free kicks and we haven't had the same rub of the green, which, it doesn't undermine it. And nothing's just black and white, but it is very frustrating. And it must be for the players like Chermiti, who played fast-paced football from the highlights that we've seen of his time in Portugal. And he just runs against a player and it's minimal contact. And the player goes down and they get a free kick and we don't get that. And sometimes it's very frustrating to think that has the ref been deceived? Is there some sort of orchestrated thing against us? Oh, we got
down the left here.
Side into the box.
Oh,
and the defender's just, is that Fall, who's just collapsed and got a foot in and it's gone over the bar. Mikolenko slid the ball
got a
in.
really good possession down on the left there. Interception.
Yeah.
It's good defending, actually.
Mikolenko, that's the best thing he's done all game.
Have you guys seen anything tactical, positive?
No.
Tactical. The problem is, from my perspective, is that we should be raising. We don't raise our game for these occasions, and the opposition do. And the tempo wasn't right from the start. It seems to have improved a bit this half, but
Stevie, we shouldn't have to raise our game.
Garner's taking a corner from the right.
We shouldn't have to raise our game. We're better than these.
Well, we're now 340 something minutes of football without scoring.
But on paper, we are a better team than these. They've raised their game massively. We talked about this last night. And if Everton don't show up, which they haven't, certainly did in the first half, they're putting a bit of pressure on second half. If they don't show up and just think that this is a walkover, this is what happens. This is why we're on the telly. Let's make no bones about that.
Sweeper. Sorry, is Garner sweeping now? Who's that?
Well, Garner actually has some football intelligence. I've said that since we got him, and every time he's played, he's had some foresight. I don't know whether he's been stunted by the players around him or the tactics, but he has some football intelligence, and I think he's taking charge a bit, as he sometimes does, to go, okay, well, if the team's not going to do this, if my colleagues on the pitch aren't going to do it, it needs to be done, so I'm going to do it. He's playing like a right back. He's covering. He's doing
I think he's wasted. He's wasted on the right.
He's wasted at Everton.
Falling from he was falling from grace. I mean, we just talked about Everton not raising the game. Gueye was playing behind Lionel Messi a couple of years ago. I mean, look at it now. He's playing Doncaster on a Wednesday night. At least it's not raining. Look, if you don't, I'm furious, but I think we're going to get a goal. I do. I think we're going to get a goal from somewhere.
The thing is, right, we have all said it, when you start Michael Keane at centre-half,
shot on target,
we leak goals.
Hey, DJ.
To be fair, we're only behind to an offside goal.
Yeah, but they deserve to be ahead anyway.
They could have scored a second or a third, and our touches in the opposition box and half has just been appalling.
But no, I don't know whether I missed it, but nobody in our team even appealed for offside.
Oh, here we go.
Beto's running the ball down the right wing. He's close to the touchline. He's just
in the middle. It's gone out. It's gone out.
That didn't go over the...
It's gone out, but he was rapid then.
He was fast, wasn't he?
Once he opened his legs, then he was gone.
I don't know whether it's a bad sign. I said it. That didn't go all the way over the line.
No. Don't know. Touch and go.
No VAR in this place, Jan. No. It's basically Doncaster rules, which are...
thank you very much for joining us on this miserable... Sorry, Stevie.
It's all right. I'm saying Doncaster rules mean no VAR. We'll paint some blue lines across the pitch and we'll make decisions that favour the home side.
So thank you, everyone, for joining us on this horrible Wednesday evening, which we might well get used to next season. For watching Follow Everton with me, Stevie and Wes. Wes is jet lagged, having just come back from holiday. I've been sleeping for most of the last few days, not being very well. And Stevie is, well,
I'm back. I was at the Allianz.
Yes, come back from Bayern Munich. Yeah. So, yeah.
Clapham Stadium, that though, isn't it?
Oh
right.
God.
So anyone here?
The atmosphere there.
Anyone in the comments, thank you for joining us. Do point out, if you can, to
try
and
that's a free kick.
For God's sake. That was hospital ball, but he's let the play go on. It's going to go.
How can you not stop that?
It was a poor ball. It was over it anyway.
So if anyone's got anything, if anyone's got any comments there to find any positives from this game, please do chuck it in and we'll discuss it. But honestly, from what I've seen, we are awful. And on paper, as you say, we'd expect to have at least had the possession and got 1 or 2 goals by this point and not conceded. But you know what I will say? I don't know whether it's fair to say, but Doncaster do deserve to be in front, and they put in a bloody good performance for a team that is League Two, and you can't fault them. They've played.
They don't look like a bottom of the Football League side, do they?
No, well, they mentioned that before in the commentary that even though they've been beaten in all the games they've played up to now or whatever, I don't know the record, but they haven't played badly, which can't be said for us.
Yeah,
we just haven't put the ball in the net, but it's over 350 minutes now.
It's so disjointed though. It really is so disjointed. Like players can't pass the ball 10 yards. It's the basics, it's fundamentals of football. Find somebody that plays in the same team as you and you pass the ball to him. You know.
On a totally non-football related note, Chris, thank you for joining us from the States in the middle of the afternoon. I'm sure what this means is it's going to ruin far more of your day before you get to go to sleep and pretend like Everton don't exist. I've got to say, actually, I am going over to America at the end of October. I won't go into massive details,
Good
but
tackle.
yeah. Oh,
Go on,
goes
go
into
on.
In the box.
Why are you not turning?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
dead. Oh my
Dan
God.
Juma
That's some.
Beto.
held the ball up on the penalty spot and turned it and passed it back to Beto. Was it Dan Juma?
He just got stuck under his feet, didn't he?
Oh no.
Yeah, just stuck under his feet.
And
He's a tall
Beto,
lad,
and he
but,
just,
yeah.
if it was golf, he'd have sliced it.
Because Marcus Bent would be all over that.
Listen, I've got every sympathy for our American viewer, but you must have more sympathy for me when I was staying up till midnight and 11 o'clock at night to watch us get beat.
No sympathy, Wes, because I would have sympathy, but at your age, forgive me for saying, but you're a little bit older than me. You know, you should have learned by now that it's just not worth it.
Yeah, but I can't help myself.
Right. Oh, thanks, Robbie. No, but this is what I've said earlier. Robbie's just said, don't worry, guys, you don't need this cup distraction. That's coming from a Leeds fan. Honestly, I would have liked to have seen us get into ball through on the left.
He's in behind.
Get in!
Beto put his foot in and...
Beto!
Signed in yesterday.
Mabsy just woke up.
Do you know what I reckon, though? Funnily enough, the FA will probably turn around and say, oh, the paperwork wasn't in time. It's invalidated. Doncaster get a bye to the next round. I'm half expecting it.
By the way, that was great movement.
It's a lovely goal.
Great movement,
Yeah,
that.
lovely goal.
Wonderful to cut in front because he would have got a free kick if he'd have gone over. Yeah, we've needed a striker. That was great. That was a great ball forward. Good, very good weighting. Some great touch.
But
It's
he starts
what
2
we've needed.
yards
Someone
behind
with
the
a clinical.
defender. He outpaces him, and it's a lovely clinical finish, isn't it?
Great finish.
I said we get a goal. The only worry, no extra time, no replays, is just go straight to pen. But that's our first goal.
We're going to win this now, though.
Let me count it. Sorry, let me count it. 73 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Who's he shouting that to go down? Someone injured?
Right, so what I was going to say to everyone in the comments, and but you know, if people do want to say this, I strongly say, I wouldn't have expected us to have lost to Doncaster. Well, I kind of would have half expected it, but it would have been a kick in the balls. But if we come up against a half decent team, even a championship level team, and we lose, it wouldn't be the end of the world, because I want us to focus fully 100% on the league, because we're at risk of, if we don't start turning it on, we're at risk of putting ourselves really, rather than being a contender for fighting for 1 or 2 spaces of relegation, we're contenders at this rate for being in the relegation zone the entire season.
Jan, I hate to disagree with you because you know I love you.
No, you don't. You don't hate to disagree. Yeah.
But we need a confidence boost.
Yeah.
Regardless of, you know, whether it's the Carabao Cup or whatever, we need a win. We need a goal. We've got a goal. We need to build on this now. We've looked a better team second half.
Yes.
I'm not asked about him because he's been masquerading as a Premier League footballer for over a year now, Michalenko.
Oh, don't be harsh.
He's absolute garbage. And I don't, you know, I don't know whether the circumstances surrounding the guy is affecting him, but when he joined Everton, he wasn't good enough, and the circumstances surrounding the guy wasn't happening then, and I haven't changed my opinion of him. He's not good. When you're being displaced by a 38-year-old footballer, then you know whether you're good or not.
Well, right. So Tarkovsky's come on. I'm not sure who just came off.
Michalenko.
Was it Michalenko was injured?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Ben Godfrey didn't control that. It was embarrassing.
I said last night in the pre-match that I thought we would have been better off starting with Young at right back, and now he's come on. But then he's been a bit all round the pitch. I've seen him before in the middle of the
guys.
pitch.
Would we take Tanganga?
Would you take penalty?
Is he right back?
That's a good question. Sorry.
Tango.
Sure, he's a right back. That's if he can play on the left, yeah. But if he's a right back, then
he might be a versatile. The thing is, though, we bought too many versatile players that aren't dedicated in their positions.
Yeah, stats just come up. Beto.
Three shots.
Scored three. He scored one from 3 shots. 3 shots is more than Everton managed in the first half alone. The whole first half. So Beto, I think single-handedly, triple threat.
Oh, it's been caught out there again, Keane.
Norberto. Oh, right. Okay, so Doncaster have got the ball on the left. He's going into the edge of the box. Oh, and he's gone over. No penalty.
Challenge from Manana.
Ball going forward to the halfway line.
Here we go. Oh, terrible first touch. Go on.
Again,
he should have played it through back to the middle. It's going on the left wing.
He's kept the ball.
I can't tell who's got it because the TV's too far away. Sorry about this. Terrible coverage. We're playing it about 30 yards out. He's played it through to the edge of the left box. Ball through. Keepers hit it. Ping pong. Defenders cleared it out to the left.
It was Young then.
Go forward again.
Young's been switched to left back. And he's playing Godfrey at right back, I think.
We do actually. If you're not an Everton fan and you've just joined us to look at this absolute misery because you're watching it on Sky and you thought you'd see what the Everton fans are like in meltdown, well, this is it. What's been going on? I don't know whether you guys would agree with this, but the last few years we've had a failure in the breakdown of flow of talent from youth. We've had a series of managers that haven't played young players. We've shipped them out, sent them on loan, and not escalated. We've overpaid and overbought for and had a glut in various positions and not had strength, reasonable strength in depth in the right places, and no development. We've had a series of managers that have messed up the entire back, back and admin, football, director of football, the financial direction of the club. We've got rid of various medical squads. We got in managers that play different styles. We've had an owner that wanted to imprint. We've had a chairman who wanted to get in cozy with the owner, and they had a different mentality. One where the owner pulled the purse strings, and the chairman. You know what? I won't go into the side, all the elements of it. We've also had a new board and CEO who's been more interested in the financial prestige of building a new stadium. And we've just crumbled and declined. We didn't replace aging players when we should have done earlier in. Like when you see, for instance, teams like City can buy whoever they want when they want. Teams like United, even though they can do that, they've always focused on, especially the teams of the 90s, like what they did. They had a rolling conveyor belt of players that would fill in. And we just haven't done that. We didn't replace Lukaku, Richarlison, Baines, Hibbert, Coleman.
We did.
Sorry, Coleman, I meant.
We didn't. We replaced them, but just not with good players.
But we didn't replace them in time. We replaced them as an emergency measure, like putting on a spare tyre, rather than order them in and keep them in the garage and find out whether they were worth it or not.
Didn't we?
I think the booing. Anthony's just asked, "What does everyone think of the booing at half time?" I think it's a natural and understandable emotional reaction from a team that are bottom of the Premier League, but 3 leagues above this team who are bottom of the second division or 4th division, whatever you want to say. And we're appalling.
I think people have spent good money to go and watch that drivel in the first half, so they're entitled to their opinion. If their opinion is booing, then they're entitled to do that. But I just want to ask Stephen. Is it Stephen Cairns that was up before Jan? He wants to count himself lucky that he's not an Everton fan.
Oh, yeah, Steve. Yeah, sorry. Excellent. Wormy's just asked, they have a plan. Is that a statement or is that a question? I don't know if they don't have a footballing plan. They've got a financial plan, but increasing match day revenue by having more income from hospitality and more seats and tickets sold on a match day is all well and good, but not if you don't have the TV revenue. And we talk about being a multi-million-pound business, but when more than half of that income is, you can argue from a financial or an accounting point of view that income should just be ignored because it's not dependent on the club's turnover. It's gifted as a result of us being in our position in the Premier League. And when more than your income comes from the TV rights, if you lose that by going down to the Championship, you're utterly screwed. Okay, that wipes the slate clean with the financial fair play when you change leagues, but yeah, sorry.
But,
oh yeah, other clubs have a plan, absolutely. Because look what's happened.
Oh!
My God!
Sorry, we're not even looking at the.
What a header
I
that
am
was, by
looking.
the way.
It was off the. It was a fantastic lead from Beto. That's his fourth shot. That one's not on target because it hit the post.
That's an interesting question.
My God.
You can't argue with him for not going because of where he went, but Ancelotti, he would have had the draw for the right players. He had if he's the most recent manager since Moyes, Silva, Martinez are the sort of long-term ones. Koeman was absolutely shambolic. That's a foul. Just got pushed over. There we go. Got a foot in.
I'd probably say
midfield. Gueye's got it. He's played it out left to the edge of the box. There we go.
Go on, it's back in.
Go on.
Oh,
hit the bar.
Sorry.
Top of the bar. Like a fruit machine.
I think
since Beto's come on, we've had the threat, haven't we? Which is really encouraging.
Obviously, with that last question, Ancelotti left to go to Real Madrid. You can't turn around and blame him for that. But I think managers who we sacked, you'd probably go as far as saying Marco Silva.
Yeah, a couple of people have said that, Billy and Thomas. But Marco Silva's done all right at Fulham, hasn't he? He's got them up to, was it 10th last season or 11th?
Yeah, I mean, it's working wonders at Fulham. I mean, there was rumours he was going to go to Saudi. That would have been a travesty.
Lewis says, even if you win, it's still a disaster. Lewis, I get the impression. I don't think you're an Evertonian, are you? Because, you said you win, and I think you were cheering for Donny.
I agree.
But, yeah, it is still a disaster because this is not an isolated performance.
No.
It's not just Fulham, Villa and Wolves. It's the pre-season. It's the previous 2 seasons.
Pre-season was actually better than this because we won most of our games in pre-season. And we did
great flick on there from Onana.
We do look a lot better since Beto came on, though.
Yeah, 100%.
We don't
much more physical.
Better than him. We don't look 4 leagues. Beto could have had a hat trick. He's only been on.
Just in case anyone didn't think it could get any worse, Mopé's coming on. Look,
and just to remind you, I think it's going straight to pens. If I'm right, there's no extra time, no replays.
I think he's going 4-4-2, isn't he?
I hope that answered your question without being a bit waffly, Stephen. But I think most Evertonians would agree that it's just been a complete shambles from top to bottom, and it's been top down. It's not been bottom up that poor performances have led to this. It's been a top down approach where poor decisions have had incremental effects that have eventually built on the pitch, because we had Mashiri come in 6 or 7 years ago, 7 years now, and it's built up. And I don't necessarily say I blame. Well, you can blame the guy, but he's not been willing to delegate, and we've had a board that have
frittered away lots of money. Now, here's a question for you lads, right? And for anybody, the viewers out there, would you say Sean Dyche is out of his depth at Everton?
I think the Statue of Liberty would be out of her depth at Everton.
I think you could put a really top class manager with this team squad and the confidence they've got and everything, and you've got an uphill battle.
I don't know, because Ancelotti never struggled as much as what Lampard did. Okay, Lampard come into it already.
What did we finish 8th? And then he was. Did we finish 8th under Ancelotti?
But don't forget, he had Michael Keane as centre half, Mason Holgate. A lot of the players that are still there, he had, and still managed to. We was never in danger of getting relegated under Ancelotti.
Maybe they raised the game a little bit under him.
Maybe he had more nous about tactics.
But you could argue, though, that was really when the sort of the financial profit and loss with transfers and wages started to go wrong, because we overpaid for a lot of players. And we've got the ball scrabbling around in the box.
It's like schoolboy football.
Nearly wriggled his way through there.
This is
like a playground.
Sorry.
Oof.
Wormy, all that is true. The club is terribly run, but Dyche is not a good manager. Telling me our players aren't as good as League Two players. Yeah, they should be.
I'm not really one to castigate managers so early on.
But Robbie's a Leeds fan so he's been in this sort of up and down, promotion relegation thing, and I don't know, the Jesse March and Bielsa. So he says possibly from a point of experience. You'll never progress under Dyche. You may stay up, but what constitutes ambition? Exactly. What is ambition?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not usually one to jump on the sack the manager bandwagons, through early days.
Because you want to think that stability.
Yeah, but the tactics that he employed that first half was just like meaningless. Yeah, there was like hit the ball up to an isolated centre forward, and you're like how is that even a tactic? Like that's tactics from the early 90s, what Wimbledon used to play. And they used to be successful at it. But we're not that team.
So I don't know whether Mr. J is talking about me, you, or someone in the comments. Please do, because we love this place to be a discussion for fans as well. We don't just want a soapbox as much as it's tempting to be. I've got ADHD, sorry. The argument's invalid. You downgrade to Frank Lampard. The board is a joke. Yes, washed-up ex-player manager started this downfall. I do think that reflective and more experienced Evertonians could have seen we're looking back with hindsight, but saw the beginnings of this. It was avoidable earlier on, but once you start laying the foundations and you don't counter them or mitigate them, then they become more damaging. Balls played into. Oh, shoot!
Get it! Oh my God! Yes! Get on! Yes!
Danjuma and Beto. Fine.
2 minutes to go against the bottom club in the Football League. I'm having to use that much vocal cord power.
I know. I need to keep it on the down low. Everyone's in bed.
It's actually really good play. Is that Mopay?
Good finish again.
Mopay has been really nice popping up there. Danjuma, quality strike, bottom left-hand corner. I mean, I think Jan's still in shock.
I am.
It's a reverse strike back in the corner. It was a good finish. Everton, just for the record now, have scored 2 goals all season. They've both been in this half. They've both been since Beto came on. They've galvanised the team. We've definitely looked more of an attacking threat. I think we're all still in shock.
Look, let's actually talk some sense here, Mr. J. Right? We like Sean. There are elements to like and dislike and to be concerned about. But personally, I can't speak for anyone else. I like Sean Dyche because of how he seems to be no nonsense with fleet tests and the fitness. How he seemed to talk the right kind of talk and not be too likable. Frank Lampard was a likable guy but a bad manager. Dyche might not be the best manager, but sacking him for someone when no one wants to come in, it might not be the rest thing. But if the serious thing there about the argument's been I don't know.
Unless he loses 10 games on the bounce, Dyche is not going to get sacked. Machiri's done. Machiri's done with sacking managers. Unless it's like gets to dire straits, he's not going to sack Sean Dyche. And
what do you mean? What if it gets to dire straits? What if we start going up to St James's Park for? No, sorry. They play dire straits, don't they? Is it Coming Home? What's the song they play?
We're just about to get. How much added time is he going to do before Everton hold on for a famous victory against Doncaster?
We've snatched the victory from the jaws of almost certain defeat.
Yeah, I mean, based on this second half, everyone probably deserved to be in the lead, but it's harsh on Doncaster, to be fair.
We have been more physical than them, and I think it's got to them in the end.
Right, Billy
We've
says
had other chances as well.
Well, hopefully it's the level of professionalism that comes from being a Premier League, footballer. Not that
not
they're all professionals. Billy says Mashiri's done with the club. He's out ASAP. But ASAP, from a business point of view, will be after the stadium is a confirmed asset on the books and has a demonstrable revenue and income stream. Great tackling there from Gueye. He's played it, left it out wide. And
I agree with Billy. I think Mashiri, once that stadium's built, I think he's selling up because at the moment he's not going to get a return on his money without that stadium.
We've been stripping
being fully built.
assets. We've been stripping assets all over the place. So
I mean, look at the look at the quality of certain things in the club. But so a few people have said in the comments, "Where's Potter in this conversation?"
Graham Potter. You know
yeah, we didn't. To be fair, we didn't really cheer the goals with any happiness or excitement. It was more relief that finally, we're not as bad as people could reasonably argue to say that we deserve to be.
I did, because we're at this level, unfortunately, where we have to win against Doncaster to feel
we've got to take what we can get.
This is where we're
I like Potter anyway.
He did and not scored.
Yeah, but the thing is with Potter, the thing is with Potter is that he needs to be at a club where he can build it from the, build the foundations and create a club. He's got to be the man who's totally in charge of incomings, outgoings, and he hasn't got that at Everton.
And that's why I knew from day one that he'd fail at Chelsea, because although he has the caliber, the mentality that persists at Stamford Bridge is not the one where a man like Potter would have thrived, because he did I said from day one, I like the fact that he'd done sports psychology and emotional intelligence, which Everton need to do. They need that confidence. They need that sort of cohesiveness as a team that's persisted post Potter at Brighton. You look at they're building something special there.
You look at the whole Chelsea scenario, right? Is that Todd Bowley's come in, and basically they've gone after players that other teams, who they think their rivals are after, and they've got like the Caicedo, Lavia. Last season was the same. Mudryk. Arsenal wanted Mudryk. No, Chelsea went and bought. They just went after players.
Ball in. Mopay shot deflected.
How many minutes?
Great tackle.
The shot, it's deflected. It's gone for a corner.
Goal kick.
Okay.
Must be in the last minute now.
But yeah, that's what Chelsea have done. They've just gone in and bought players that their rivals are interested in. We haven't got that. To be able to afford
it's awkward that they've got around it by they pay a premium for buying players that are from or are potentially in the sights of their competitors. So you pay that, so you pay a premium on that. But also they've got around that by doing that amortization thing, by doing financial wrangling, which, to be fair, it's in my mind, and I discussed it a lot with my dad. It's the difference between tax evasion, illegal, and tax avoidance, legal but morally questionable.
Meanwhile, sorry to interrupt, Beto got man of the match. It's not over yet, but 4 shots and 1 goal.
Yeah,
we're agreeing, Mr. J. Potter absolutely had a rise at Brighton, because what the manager
it was the wrong
does.
appointment for Chelsea.
Yeah, nobody said that he didn't have a rise.
Oh no, someone in the comments did.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Nobody said. We all know that he sort of built the foundations to what Brighton are now, but he had complete control of who came in and who went out.
Yeah, I mean, it stops the misery that would have been present following this match, but it doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence that it took us. I mean, although having said that, let's think of it this way. You're under the cosh when you're a goal down, and heads go down, especially if you're on the back foot. But the 2 players that we've signed recently that we wanted to change the forward, okay, you've got Harrison as well, but Danjuma and Beto, and Beto was brought in as a striker, immediately came on and made a difference, made an impact.
Well, he's top in in 45 minutes. He's top of the stats of goals, shots on goal. What was it? He's first in two categories, and touches in the opposition box. He was second in 45 minutes. That tells you a lot of what happened in the first half more than the second half.
How much extra time is there? Injury time is there?
I don't know.
Till Doncaster scored
we were
again.
adding another 30 minutes off.
Oh, yeah, just till Doncaster scored.
Space here on the right.
Play him in.
Play him in.
You're not offside?
Yes.
There you go.
He was off.
Offside.
What was Garner thinking there?
Why did we sell Gordon? Because he was we should have. We got a good offer that he wasn't worth as much. He wasn't worth as much as he was this previous year, but we got an offer of the same amount. They wanted to pay 40 million or whatever for him.
It's over.
It seemed like it couldn't be asked. And it's all over.
Everton are in the hat. And I think all the fans have eaten the hat during that match.
Yeah, we sold Gordon because he wanted to leave. Simple as that.
There's arguments and rumours about personal stuff. It's not our place to speculate on that. And if we do, I think it would reveal some of our in-the-know inside sources. So, yeah. So Doncaster, arguably
dispatched with ease, right, Jan? Dispatched
Sorry?
with ease. Doncaster being dispatched with ease.
Really?
Is that the headline for the? Is that the headline for the post-match, Stevie?
Hang on a second. There's got to be some obscure. Let's predict the terrible red banner headlines tomorrow. Doncaster women's team are called Bells. Was Belle from Beauty and the Beast?
You're being too cryptic here.
Or something about Beauty
Everton
and the Beastly.
Everton are Beto with a new number.
That you're stealing my joke from the WhatsApp. It's Beauty as the Beastly. Oh God, yeah, never mind. Yeah, all right. Too cryptic and too many degrees of separation. This isn't the Guardian cryptic crossword. Yeah.
Just look at the smile on my face. We've won a game. We haven't won a game for 3 months.
You know what? No, right. As an eternal optimist, I think this team changes in a few weeks' time. Once we get McNeil back, Harrison's fit, got Beto now up front, Chermiti, we've got more options on the bench. DCL, another one. I know, his name doesn't like to be mentioned on there, but he's another option once he's over his facial injury. Branthwaite looked like $1 million against Wolves. So, it's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
I think the shape of this team is going to change in the next few weeks.
Well, Emma and the Blues, yeah. Beto was single-handedly responsible for that. Danjuma, I don't think, is the guy to play in isolation. Welcome, Emma. Hopefully, yeah, I'm still fuming as well because it's worrying.
Because
but
we won a game
says,
in these circumstances.
It could be a kickstart for the season.
I think the fume's more on the first half than the second half.
I don't know about you guys, but the Blues has asked what's up, folks. I don't know. Yeah, as I said, I don't know about you guys, but my blood pressure. Blackburn 8 away at Harrogate. Burnley got a goal against Forest. I think that was in the second half. Sheffield United, Lincoln finished 0-0. Sorry?
Chelsea came from behind to win 2-1 against AFC Wimbledon.
That's good news.
8-0.
Sheffield United's going to penalties.
What? So they play an extra 3 minutes of kicks?
Well, it's more intensity, isn't it?
Oh! I'm sorry, I've got to point
we've
this out.
not had enough mental stress ourselves, Wes.
Beautiful, Neil. Beautiful. The bells almost toll for Dyche. That is.
Oh,
I know.
That's definitely an echo one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
The thing is, if we'd won 4-1, no one would be worried. But because we won 2-1, we missed chances. They had chances. Blah 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 blah. Everyone's putting a downer on this. We won. We're in the hat. We move on. We're better than we were 90 minutes ago.
45 minutes ago.
Okay, right, but the minister of misery that I am, I'm going to have to point out that we went a goal down, and this is a team that are 72 places behind us, and I understand there can be a difference if you're bottom of the Premier League and you're playing a team that is in great form, even if they're a couple of leagues down, if they're top of League One or even top of League Two, they can be. But these Doncaster are bottom of League Two, and we went a goal down. And that's with a team that he'd had all the, several days to prepare and make selection, and it was awful.
Yeah,
Danjuma just said he thinks we should have played better. We should have killed the game a lot earlier, but we didn't.
No shit, Sherlock. The thing is, right, is that this is a springboard. Hopefully, we get 3 points.
That's a shoe in for Saturday, isn't he? He's a nailed on starter.
Yeah,
he's a big lad, isn't he?
I did say before we signed him, I thought it was an exciting prospect, and I stand by that now. I think he changes the whole dynamic of the team. Suddenly teams' defences have something to deal with. All we've had for the last 18 months, 2 years, really.
Sheffield United lost on pens.
Is what we've got left. It's not been a choice. There's not been any pressure on any position in the team. It's been okay. So we're going to have to play him, or Coleman's available, or Calvert-Lewin isn't available. So we play Mopay, or we don't play anyone. There's been no choice, no pressure. We've got a squad now. If we can keep them fit, things got to get better than this. I think we hit rock bottom in the first half. I think they got to get better.
I think that what Dyche has learned from this game is that above and beyond his first choice 11, they're not good enough.
Well, we've heard it straight from. Sorry for you, probably get this all the time, mate, but straight from Jesus's mouth, the divine knowledge is. JC is saying, "Let's be honest, lads, we're down this season."
No, we're not.
Well, it depends.
No, we're not. Like I said, the shape of this team is going to change in the next few weeks.
Do you think, though, that having more forward play, like Beto playing up front with Mopay or McNeil coming back on, do you think that would relieve some pressure on the defence to not make Michael Keane the liability that yeah?
Well, Michael Keane makes Michael Keane a liability. As simple as that. He's not Premier League material. He's just not. He's one of the worst centre-halves I've ever seen in my life. And I'm 51 years of age. And I've seen a lot of terrible centre-halves at Everton.
I miss
Campbell's smile. Yeah. Well, who do you think
Klaus Thompson. Klaus Thompson. There's one for you.
Funes Mori.
Funes Mori was all right.
That's what I said. I said it at the time, and then he was just a bit injury prone. But then but then the more I look back on it, and when I realised he was a bit calamitous, he wasn't sort of composed.
Materazzi was terrible for us and went on to win the World Cup. So you just never know. But Klaus Thompson, God, I think
Klaus Thompson was awful.
For me, the best defender of the recent years was probably David Weir.
Wormy, that's exactly what I've said in some of the post-match things where teams set up and they play tactics, and yet sometimes we play and we have the pivot player, we have the receiving player, and we have the overlapping player. Like triangles, it's quick formations, misdirect, pull a man, either create space or go for the forward ball in front of it. Yeah, it's just we all know what we're going to say.
The thing is,
with that mess around. We played with that sort of tactic a few years ago, and it didn't work at all.
It showed you though that second half. Once they actually started passing the ball around Doncaster, they looked a much better team. So I still can't get my head around why Dyche thought that employing the long ball was going to be a tactic to get over the back of their defenders.
We looked significantly better when Gueye came on because he was the one that was stepping into those triangular, holes and making spaces and angles for the players to create spaces. And I think in the end, the physicality and the passing is what did it. And we did look like there was 2 other really good chances, 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Strong chances
every time we got the ball and we got the ball behind their defenders, we looked like we could score. Where that wasn't the case the first half, you know what I mean? And it was like, even Mabsy said in the group chat, like, why are we employing the long ball? And it's like everybody else is baffled to it as well. I just don't understand what Dyche was thinking. He obviously went to plan B, in the second half, but then there was scapegoats brought off because of his tactics.
So, I mean, I've got to balance it out with, there's something called like sample bias and weighted bias that occurs when you look at mathematical and statistical analysis of things. But if Dyche has come into a team that are struggling and aren't playing very well and just statistically are in the lower part, whether it's Burnley or Everton, if he's playing a lot of teams that are better than him, then you could argue that he's going to lose more matches by dint of the fact that he's managing a weaker team. Now, what you have to then do is do a statistical analysis and comparative analysis of the points per game prior to his appointment in a position. Yeah, it's boring. Sorry.
I know Peter doesn't like Dyson. I'm not going to sit here and sort of slag him off or defend him. But his tactics in that first half were just simply baffling for me. I don't know what he thought was the game plan, because it was just like lump it up upfield and hope for the best. Chermiti was completely isolated, and the poor lad got dragged off at half time.
Yeah.
Because of the way the manager wanted the team to play, not because he'd done anything wrong. Because he tried his hardest. The ball just wasn't sticking. He was outgunned every time he got the ball, but he was made the scapegoat, and he brought Beto on, and obviously that changed him. But that's because he had to change it. The manager had to change his tactics from what he set the team out to play in the first half.
So several people throughout this stream have talked about Everton's ambition, and Robbie's just asked, are we more ambitious than simply avoiding relegation? Do we want more than just staying in the Premier League? Somebody else said. Sai said, hopefully it gives the team confidence we can get 3 points this weekend against Sheffield. There's so much to talk about every week, and it just
It's not our ambition to just stay up. You know what I mean?
But we have to be realistic in our situation. We can't. Of course, I'd love for us to compete for Europe. I'd love for us to win the league. But it's not. I don't want to be deluded. I don't want to sit on here and say something that's completely divorced from the reality of our situation that people are just going to turn off or just call me an idiot. Because I want to look at the reality of where we are, and we're struggling.
Yeah.
Just to say, I think we do have the Carabao Cup draw coming up in a minute. And also the interview with Beto says, I'm really happy to score my debut, win the game. I'm looking forward to the next game and to keep winning. I can't promise goals, bloody hell, but I can promise to work hard and effort, and I will help the team score goals. No doubt.
That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for, Stevie.
Yeah. Everton,
that's all you can ask for any of the players. Isn't it? That's all you can ask of any of the players. Is when they pull that blue shirt on, is to give everything that they've got. That's all you can ask. And for the past 3 seasons, the majority of them haven't done that.
No, it's been disappointing. Now, I do believe that the Carabao Cup draw, it might be on TV, but as far as I'm aware, it's on Sky Sports' official YouTube channel.
Is it? Is it not on? Is it on Sky Sports News? No. Let me just flick over on me Sky Sports remote control.
Oh God, sorry. They've been cutting grass and spreading muck round where I live today, and I've just been, it's horrible.
Oh, Royal Antwerp beat A. Carstens anyway, 2-1.
Yeah. Right, sorry, I've missed out on the comments. Sorry about this, guys. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Jake. Can we name the teams you think will beat to get enough points to stay in the Prem? No.
The thing is, like I said, right, and I keep reiterating it, is that this team is going to change over the next few weeks. It's, you know, we've seen what Beto can do. If we've got decent service into him with McNeil and Harrison, he's going to get goals and we're going to win matches. So it's not all doom and gloom. We played well 2 out of 3 games, yet we've been beat. But now, if we'd have had Beto at the start of the season, we probably would have won them 2 games.
Yeah.
Because we had enough chance. There was a stat up on the other day, said Everton were the second highest shots on target team this season with 18 shots on target. And I think it was Man City was top. It's just that they weren't going in the back of the net.
Because we're not clinical. I mean, you can take a shot that's on target and get blocked. So where is this cup draw? Go on then.
I would have thought it was on the telly though. I don't think it's going to be on main event.
You would have thought, or you wouldn't have thought?
I wouldn't have thought it was on main event because they're doing all the post-match interviews with Dyson.
I think it's at 10:30.
I think it's 10:15. You know, Stevie. I've seen something before that said 10:15.
Thank you. I don't know if that's sarcastic there because I'm too busy looking for the chat on the thing here. Sorry, the Carabao Cup draw. Yeah, I do think that. Oh wow! Thank you very much, Amanda. I've got to say, all of this goes to Ryan to fund the hosting and the channel and the website and everything, and to pay for equipment. Genuinely, thank you.
Thanks very much, Amanda. Very generous.
You, Amanda. Every penny keeps us locked in to doing this and enduring the misery of being Evertonians.
Yeah, goes towards pencils to stick up our noses and say "Whittle."
Just seeing the interview with Sean Dyche. I mean, he basically says Beto has free reign. He's only been here for 24 hours, but gets him off to a good start with Evertonians. That's a very potted version of his interview. He said there were a lot of young players who played at the beginning. I don't think that's an excuse.
Yeah. He picked the team.
Under 21 should have beaten them.
He picked the team. You can't then backtrack on that and say there was a lot of young players in the team. You picked the team. You employed the tactics. They're only carrying out your instructions as the manager. You can't fall for that waffle. You know what I mean?
I've just posted Colin, again, thank you, mate. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin.
I've just posted a link. I've just posted a link for everyone there on Sky Sports Football official YouTube channel. It's going to go live sort of imminently at any point. There's plenty kicking off in the chat, but it's going to go live any minute. In about 5 minutes, it will go live for the next round of the Carabao Cup draw. So we'll hang around for that and discuss that.
Yeah, if you're enjoying the stream, please like and subscribe.
Thank you. Wes,
Just to remind you, this draw is when the top teams who are currently playing in the European Cups are going to be brought in. That means Holland will be in the draw, as well as various other teams that play in red.
Who did Sheffield United just get beat by?
That's a good question.
Who was it, Jan?
It was Lincoln
yeah.
City. Yeah.
It's on main event. It is Lincoln City. Oh yeah, I bet you they're hoping to get us.
Wow.
Yeah, the draw's on main event.
What's this? The draw or?
Yeah, it's just come up on Sky Sports News then that the draw's going to be on main event.
Is that?
But they're having obviously still having the interview with Dice. He's just coughing up a load of gravel that he swallowed before the match.
Yeah, I mean, okay, people are saying this. Just a quick roundup. Obviously, the first half performance was abysmal. Apparently, a fan shouted at Pickford, "What the hell is this?" or "What is this?" And Pickford went, "I know." Right. Yeah. So, but I mean, do you think there are any, apart from the second half where Danjuma turned it on, Gueye actually had quite a good game. I didn't think Onana was that bad. I think we were expecting too much forward play and attacking from him when he's maybe more defensive.
Yeah, I think you're being too kind to him. I think he's the type of player in these games that you want to see take control of the game, and he just doesn't. He should be grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck and going, "This is how we're going to play." It's like if you've got somebody his size, you don't just whack it up to the front man.
Well, the thing is, I think is that born out of desperation or a lack of tactics or both?
Lack of tactics, definitely lack of tactics. If you whack a ball 30 yards and bypass your midfield to a player who's on his own, and then expect that player to control the ball and bring other players in when the other players could be like 20 yards behind them. That's not good tactics, that.
The draw's coming up any minute, moments away.
What number are we? 8, is it? 7.
What do we want? Just a home draw.
Home draw.
What, you want to go to Goodison?
Well,
maybe not then.
With our away performances, definitely not away. No.
It seems like there's a mixed view between you as to whether we are going to be in the League Cup in September. That's a given. How long a run would affect our current team in terms of distraction? I personally think we desperately need, as a fan base, a cup run. But I can see, we need to focus. We need to remind ourselves we've got no points in the league. But Sean Dyche just did an extended interview on Sky, very very long interview, because he was interviewed by multiple pundits and he was by the pitch, and it wasn't a traditional "I've only got a few minutes." And he basically said, people in the Premier League and football in general, they're very quick to say, we've lost 1, 2, 3 games, it's all a calamity, or we've won 1, 2 games, we're going to be in the Champions League. And he kind of spoke about how we deserve to be where we are, but we played pretty well, and just go out in the second half and do your thing and prove where you were. And he felt that they did that. I thought Dyche spoke quite well. He clearly watches the same game as us in that interview. And he doesn't look like a man who's in any type of panic stations right now, which is good. And so, think if you get a chance, watch the interview. But he just looked like he'd completed the job that he wanted to do. If we'd won 4-1 today, I think we would be feeling a lot better than this. But because we've just we've snatched a win from the jaws of defeat, as you said, Jan. That's why we feel a little bit deflated. But if it had been 4-1, it would have been okay.
The thing is, right, Stevie, is what you've just said there. Dice in his interview, he watched the same game as everybody else. Now, a top-class manager, right, would have changed that game, brought on subs halfway through that first half and changed the pattern of the game. But he didn't.
Yeah.
Well, he did make a triple sub at half time, and that included Gueye and Beto.
Because of his, but that was because of his failings, Stevie, as a manager.
Yeah, I know, Wes. It's hard because I think that there is an aspect to it where we should have probably won more comfortably, and you don't know how the game's going to go, and we've not played Doncaster in my memory, and you just don't know what it's going to be like. And our under-21s should beat them, or at least our reserves, should be beating them. And he's probably trying to find a balance between prioritising Saturday and winning today, and he probably wants to give Chermiti a go and play Danjuma and on the left. And hindsight is a wonderful thing. It's hard to find a balance sometimes. If we play our top team and then we win 4-1 and someone gets injured, and then we're like, oh, why did we play him? And he shouldn't have been on the pitch.
Yeah, we knew that there was going to be changes.
But hang on, Wes, somebody said here, somebody said that taking a player off in the first half destroys their confidence. I was going to touch on the Iwobi thing because we mentioned it before, but we can go back to that. Right, that might be the case, but then it's about managing players' expectations. Like, the reason why I didn't want Tom Davies to go is not because he was amazing. I liked the guy and I liked his mentality. But the reason was he was happy to be a squad player. He didn't turn it off and get miserable when he wasn't in the starting 11 every week. And when you've got to have a team of strength and depth of 18 to 20 players, and they're not always going to be the starting 11 or the 10, because Pickford's number one. So you've got 10 positions up for grabs. Now you expect there to be a solid 7 or 8 players that are going to play, and then dips in form, injuries, all that kind of stuff. You rotate them. You need to have players that are happy to be in the squad without starting 11. And if you're going to take a player off in the first half, absolutely. But I think it's worth pointing out that also if it's best for the team, you need to manage a player's expectations to accept that, okay, you're just having a bad day. It's nothing personal. Take them off. But I do think that if you take a player off in the first half too early, you can risk capitulating and falling apart and changing the entire dynamic that you set up for. That's why, unless there's a completely shambolic, I don't think that was shambolic. We weren't hemorrhaging goals. We
was lucky not to be.
Should have been 2-0 down in the first half. I mean,
yeah, easily.
Well, let's be honest. The goal that they scored was disallowed. It would have been disallowed at any Premier League ground. The draw's coming up.
The thing is, a team with confidence, right, plays a lot better in that first half than what Everton did. So they were lacking confidence in the first place. So by taking off players and to try and affect the game is not good. The likes of Dobbin and stuff like that. He's only playing at the moment because players are injured. Once them players come back, he's on the bench every week. You know what I mean? So you can't affect his confidence. Now, I didn't think that Dobbin was that bad today. He wasn't
Arsenal,
aware.
Just for the record, Arsenal are number 2, Bradford are number 4, Liverpool are 13, Man City 15, Man United 16, Everton are 29, Chelsea are 28.
I think we want Sutton at home. They're 25.
Sutton won us. Sutton are praying to get Everton.
Here we go.
Jan's got his pen and paper out.
As long as it's not 13 away.
Big job broke out.
Is this still northern section, or does it go into the entire?
I think it's the whole thing now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It gets mixed now.
Is it Christensen that's doing the draw?
Well, she's there.
Everton women.
I think, yeah, she's doing the draw, yeah.
Ipswich at home.
It goes to show you how important the Carabao Cup is when you got Izzy Christensen and Darren Moore doing the draw. When you do the FA Cup tour, it's like Noel Gallagher and somebody
Ooh, that was
else.
close to us, but it's actually Wolves. Ipswich v Wolves.
So here we go. We have number 11, Ipswich. Oh, have you got it there? Have you already seen it?
Yeah,
Ipswich are at
Exeter.
home.
Oh. My Sky Sports has
Exeter v
gone a bit
Luton.
behind yours.
Oh, okay. You're ahead of me, Stevie.
I paused it at the same time we agreed.
Stevie's time travelled.
This next one, Aston Villa.
Will be 29. Aston. Oh my days.
Oh, Villa away.
That's us out then, isn't it?
Man U.
Oh my days. We just have no luck.
Are we having a minute's
Palace.
silence?
Well, at least expectations completely off. Assuming that we go to Villa, they may not play the same team. They probably think we're a rollover. We might catch them cold. We've got strikers and new players that weren't playing the other week. And it couldn't be as bad as it was then. And we must be watching replays of that game prior to that game. So look, if we go there and lose, no one will care. Whereas if we lost to Sutton or Luton
Lincoln.
or whoever else, it'll be like, oh, we're shite and all that. But yeah, so why bother tonight when you get Villa away in the next
Stevie
round?
was trying to put a positive spin on it. And then
Did
just
you
went,
see how
yeah, it's
quickly
over.
it changed? When the head and the heart were talking to each other, I was like,
You've done the 180 there.
As per usual in the League Cup, Chelsea are at home.
Yeah. Well, Lincoln have got a home draw as well.
If Liverpool don't get a home draw,
Chelsea get an easy draw. Oh no, they don't. Chelsea Brighton. Oh,
West
the
Ham.
ex-Potter madness.
City out. Not City out.
Chelsea,
yet.
Brighton.
West Ham go to Lincoln. It's all academic anyway. It's a bit like going back to
Salford
school.
City.
How many teams are left in it?
Brentford at home.
Is this the last 32? At least we made it to the last 32.
Brentford v Arsenal, London derby.
We can say with the 32nd best team in the Carabao Cup.
If we do one better than our 4-0 defeat, Chelsea at home.
Chelsea, Brighton. Oof.
Fulham versus Norwich.
Are our lovely neighbours been out yet?
No.
Let's hope they get Man City.
Blackburn.
Yeah, Blackburn at home against. Oh, who's that? Cardiff.
That's Liverpool. They're at home.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, this one.
15.
Leicester.
Ah!
She's retired there now, that
Newcastle.
Izzy Christensen, hasn't she?
Hang on, Newcastle against.
Has she?
Yeah, I think she's retired.
Oh,
Holland.
City.
Newcastle v Haaland.
Newcastle v Haaland.
Oh, that's a shame because the two teams that are potentially to take out Liverpool
Being drawn against each other.
Yeah. This is the state that we're in. This is the state, the mind state that we're in. The mindset.
Up to Villa.
Everton are out, and it's just which team can take out Liverpool.
Agreed, Lila. Absolutely.
Thank you for those that made donations
Villa
tonight. Those 2 donations that were made to the channel. Thank you again. Make sure you like, subscribe, because we won't be here after the 4th round, but we'll see you in the FA Cup first round next year.
Well, that's done and dusted.
Well, at least we can sleep easy knowing that our one and only win in the League Cup this year kept us in till the end of September, which is longer than we normally survive.
The League Cup is going to be a cup that's going to evade us for another year.
That League Cup.
Oh, like all the other ones that are just vying to get into our trophy cabinet.
I don't think that League Cup is ever coming to Goodison, but it might go to Bramley more one day.
So Ipswich, Wolves, Exeter, Luton, Villa, Everton, United, Palace, Port Vale, Sutton. God, there was some more.
Newcastle, Man City, Mansfield, Peterborough, Liverpool, Leicester, Blackburn, Cardiff, Fulham, Norwich, Salford, Burnley, Chelsea, Brighton, Brentford, Arsenal.
Are we going to do a post-match analysis, or do you think we've said it all?
We can analyse it till we're blue in the face. I think there will be more, but I'm not sure where it's coming from.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's very difficult to dissect it too much when there's apparently a big disparity between the two teams. We got our pants pulled down in the first half, and luckily, I don't know whether it's down to the tactical decision to make the substitution or whether the impact of the mentality of Beto. But yeah.
I just think that we played more football, and I think, his mentality was, shone in that match. But I think if Chermiti had been kept on playing the way we did the second half, it might have been him who scored the goal.
Yeah. I mean, you can't expect him to gel straight away, and I do think he's one for the future. I can see that he's got. Immediately when he played, he came on as a sub for about 30 minutes against Wolves. There's something to his style of play that is going to add something, and I really do think that it's. Oh, they're having a go about a potential handball against Mikalenko. You're going to review that. But they're not going to talk about the fact that Doncaster's goal was offside. Isn't it a bit?
It's down to the reporter to mention that to him, innit? Grant McCann looks more like a boxer than a bloody ex-footballer, doesn't he?
Yeah. Anyway, right. Thank you for joining us for this 70-minute long rant. I think we put in more of a shift than most of the Everton players tonight.
Oh yeah, they're showing it on the telly.
I tickled you there. Tickled you more than airport security, Wes.
I don't know. Matt was around.
I'm confident other members of the channel will have more to say about Everton's.
When's the window shut, by the way? Is it the 1st or is it tomorrow?
Oh, didn't know the window was still open.
Friday.
Close it.
Ba-boomsh, here all week.
Oh, Friday night. We'll be on a
10 p.m.
We'll
11 p.m. 1st of September.
Friday.
So yeah, it's this Friday.
I'm not expecting many in, but there is talk of Iwobi leaving. He's currently injured, remember, anyway. So it's no reason why.
I've heard that there could be 2 or 3 coming in.
So, right. So on that note, well, we might do something on Friday night then, seeing what the rumours are and seeing if there's
we will be live on Friday night.
Yeah,
we will.
So Peter,
be live on Friday night, even if there's not a single sniff of anything happening. We'll still be live
because we've got nothing to do. I mean, if we went out to the pub on a Friday night, being an Evertonian, we just drink ourselves to oblivion.
We've already organised that. I think there's about 6 of us doing a bit of a rolling rotation wallpaper Friday night thing.
Right.
So,
yeah, thank you, especially non-Evertonians joining us for the banter and for keeping it mostly respectful. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, they're the best fans
yeah,
of all, right?
some positives. Dan Juma got a first goal. Beto got a first goal. Yeah, thank you to Amanda and Colin. Really appreciate it. But thank you to everyone. Do like, subscribe, hit the notifications for more absolute quality bants and back and forth A1 tactical analysis.
Just before we go, Stevie, are you watching this Grant McCann interview? Because I've got it on, but it's on mute. Has the reporter mentioned that their goal was offside to him yet? So it seems he's screaming blue murder.
But I can wind back.
It seems he's screaming blue murder about the sand ball.
No,
that's just what I
Kevin
said.
Campbell with a face. He looks massively happy, Kevin Campbell. I think he's thrilled with Beto.
Well, let's just hope. It might be because Goodison News has stopped incorrectly quoting him and claiming that he's a source for them.
He does look delighted, and every time Everton play and do well, you can really see it on his face. He's a genuine.
Oh, they are showing it. Maybe they're showing it on Sky. Anyway, from me, Stevie, Wes, lovely to speak with you guys. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, up the toffees, onwards and upwards, and we'll see you on Friday for transfers and Sheffield United.
We'll see it'll be a pre-match as well for Sheffield United as well, won't it?
Yeah, we'll be doing I think we'll do the pre-match, and then we'll be doing straight to the rolling Friday night. Do we bring anyone in this side of the window? Do we structure any deals that allow us to pay for players in 10 years' time?
But thanks for joining us. From me, Jan, from Stevie, from Wes, from everyone who's lamenting Everton at the moment. Hopefully,
from you to me, from me to you. If you don't laugh, you cry. Good night, everyone.
Yes.
And it's
We are
good
the
night
Chocolate Brothers.
Say good night, Jan.
Good night, Jan.
Ta-ra, mate.
Ta-ra.